So here we are back at our poetry assignment, and I'm going to make a few adjustments before I continue. Um, and remember that if you need to change the type style, you need to have the character palette up. And I'm going to enlarge this quite a bit because this is all that's really going to happen on this page. And I'll show you where I got that color in a minute. I'm going to increase this a bit too. From 18, I need to increase my bounding box. There we go. Well, that's starting to look good again. Type is in relation to itself, really. So if you have a header and the body type is too small, it's going to look weird. So these things kind of change in relationship to each other, proportionate to where they are on the page. Okay, so I'm going to shrink that so that my design eye can work better when when not much is going there. I like things offset a lot like this when I can feel like I could get away with it. Alright, so I made this one vertical. I've got this type, it's brown for a reason, and this is a different color because I brought a different refrigerator in there for a little bit. I'm going to show you a cool way to import an image. So when I'm clicked somewhere on the field, import file, and you could, hopefully you can find your image and where you saved it. PNG files will not work, so I'm bringing in this JPEG. Now I didn't do anything special to this JPEG. It came with a nice close fit like this. If you don't have a nice close fit like this, you might want to edit in Photoshop to get your extra space taken care of around your object or image. If you have an image that's square, you don't have to worry about any of this too much. So what I did with this one, since it's a different fridge, I'll just review with you how I did the eyedropper. Got all these shades in there. Clicked on one of them that I'd like to use for a box. I'm going to use the lighter color for that one. It creates tints based on the colors that are on the object. And what it also did was it found the brown that's in between here. And so I was able to use that for the type, which was pretty nice. Now I'd like to just show you a quick little tool that some of you might be able to use. I'm not going to really be able to use it, but I'll show you how to use it. Because for my image, I have a lot of space left over. If your image needs to go into your text at all, you're going to want to do what's called text wrap. And this is available in Google Documents and in Microsoft Word. However, this is, again, much more individualized to the person in terms of how you want it to look. So for purposes of this, I'm going to bring this type over here. And I'm going to put this over here. And I'd like you to see these little icons right here. This is nothing's going on. And then this is the one we're going to use. We're going to wrap around the bounding box itself, okay? And we're going to clunk that in there, and it's covering up the type. But if we click on here, you can see we can see it again. But it looks really goofy. What looks goofy about it, do you think? You're right, there's no room here. So that's an adjustment that you're going to make right in here. And it's linked, so it's adding it to all sides of the box. We only need it on the one side right now. So now I'm going to make sure I can read the rest of the poem. And if you wanted to, it would look like this. Now that looks goofy with this particular poem, but if you have a poem with longer lines, having the text wrap around is something that's done in magazines, newspapers, web pages a lot. It's done less on the web and more in newspapers and in magazines. It's a little hard to read for web reading. A lot of web reading is based on squares. And again, import file is here, and make sure you have a JPEG that's saved and that you can find where that is. The next thing I just want you to do is rearrange, make things fairly big, but you can also have quite a bit of white space, like the design guys we watched the other day. There's nothing wrong with white space in design. We designers tend to love it. And I'm going to see if this looks any better. Darker, maybe lighter. I don't know. I'm not really in love with that color there. Let's see. What would it look like? Brown. No, I like that even less. Well, maybe I need to change the size of this. So you're going to work with that kind of decision making a little bit. And then if that's all you're going to do to this, then you could turn it in. You could add maybe another color bar. The other thing that you could add is, I call them design lines. Really, they don't mean a whole lot, but they help you read things. So again, the color should have to do with the theme color that we're dealing with, and you can apply it this way. Maybe it's black, but otherwise it should be some color that goes with your theme. And it might be a nice line. Make sure you're holding on the shift button to keep that straight. It might be a nice line to divide the title. And then the other thing that you can do to make this sort of look like a page out of a book is at the bottom you can write a page number down here. Use a font that's similar to what you've used. Don't use anything completely funky. And I think I know what I don't like about this is maybe this size needs to change. So I'm going to work with it a little bit, and you can see my design back when I'm back again. Don't forget to save this either as InDesign or then again as a PDF. Hope you have fun today with this. Not too much. Hopefully it's just enough to keep you guys advancing your technique in this program.